Hello and welcome back to Niche Tea, where we talk about drama happening in communities you may not be a part of. Sorry it's been a minute. TLDR, got the flu, turned into pneumonia, went to the hospital. Now we're home, mostly through antibiotics. We're pretty much fine. Mostly just frustrated by the aggressive reminder of my imminent mortality. I used to brush stuff like this off within a couple of days, no matter what it was. Wouldn't get a fever, nothing. To the point of almost arrogance, like, no, I'm built different, I'm fine. Lessons have, in fact, been learned through this experience. Last time, talked about the rat community, specifically r/rats on Reddit, and an entire whole situation that went down over there surrounding a particular very, very chunky lady named Perky the Rat. Today we're going to go back into a more familiar area, which is the gaming community, to talk about something that happened about a month ago. It's, kind of an old story at this point, but honestly, I just do not feel like I saw enough people talking about this when it happened, which might have been because I was starting to be sick around that time. But either way, I need to expel this energy, so if you'll humor me, I appreciate it. The civic community we're going to be talking about today is the community for a game that was released on December 6th of 2024, so fairly recently, called Path of Exile 2. Path of Exile 2 is an action RPG game. RPG stands for role-playing game, where you are stepping into the role of someone else, similar as what you might do for like Dungeons and Dragons or that type of thing. An action RPG means that you are physically running around in the game. There are enemies in front of you. You walk up to them and you hit them. The easiest example of this, we've talked about this before, would be Zelda game. It also falls into a class of games called dungeon crawlers. These are, as you might expect, ones where you go through dungeons a whole lot. You do even the same dungeons multiple times so that you can get higher and higher levels of loot and equipment. That's part of how you level your character up and power them up so that you can take on greater challenges within the game. A very similar type of game would be the Diablo series, if you're familiar with those. That's kind of all you need to know at this point. Now, as I mentioned before, this came out on December 6th. So as of filming, that's just over 2 months ago. So it's pretty new. Because the game was so new, especially as of the time when this happened, which was again in mid to late January. At that time, nobody had even in the game reached the maximum level that a character could be yet. There were people actively trying to do this, and there was a leaderboard that was tracking online who the top characters were who had the most experience, or basically you had to grind the game. You had to just play it for hours and hours to be able to be anywhere near the top lists of these players, right? Predominantly in these cases, you're talking about people who do this on Twitch. So quite literally, there are people who are spending their entire day, every day, playing this game just so that they can be the first or second, third, fourth, whatever, top 10 person to hit whatever milestone. They're all competing for it at this time in mid-January. The Path of Exile 2 community of people who enjoy the content of the game and watching these people compete and play on their own, we're keeping a close eye on this because it's bragging rights. Like, it's something that people are really focused on if you care about this game. Now, as you think about the type of people you might picture who would be in this leaderboard, right? And you think about what they might do day to day and who they might be, you probably have a certain idea of who that person is. You know who you probably don't think is on that leaderboard? Elon Musk. You know who was on that leaderboard? Elon Musk. Again, this was in January of this year, of 2025. Right, so that's weird. Gaming is a thing that Elon Musk has talked about before. He's talked about this in interviews, that he likes really challenging games because it challenges him intellectually and it helps him get away from the day-to-day of working and whatever. And there were a lot of people, predominantly people who already like Elon Musk, who also played these games, who were like, this is so cool that he would be doing something so down to earth and that he would be doing something that I like too. It makes him so relatable. What a cool thing that's happening. So what happened? Well, as some of you might be doing right now, a few people thought about it for more than 5 minutes and went, Even if you have zero knowledge of gaming in any capacity beyond what I just told you in this video, you know that that doesn't make any kind of sense. But for the most part, people were still down with the idea of him being somebody who plays these games and is a gamer like they are, right? Then Elon decided to go ahead and do a live stream of him playing Path of Exile 2. And unfortunately, it was pretty much immediately clear to everyone who was watching that he had absolutely no idea what he was doing. People were seeing things like he didn't know how to navigate the maps, he didn't have any loot filters on, which are very important for that point in the game. Because he didn't have those loot filters on, he was skipping like critically important items for someone theoretically at his level. He was using the wrong terminology for things, he was playing incredibly inefficiently, basically just wailing on shit with the most basic attacks instead of actually utilizing the skills that he should know very well how to use. A YouTuber by the name of Quinn69TV compiled all of this stuff together into a video to basically prove that Elon very clearly had someone else, what's called power level his character for him. There was even a tab in the interface labeled Elon's Maps that everybody saw in the live stream, which was clearly set up by someone else for him to use. There was even more evidence beyond that, like quite literally his character was online playing during the inauguration. That is a fact. He did not level that character to that point. Now, to be aggressively, egregiously fair to Elon, he never explicitly came out and said, I did this myself, which is something he's since come out and used as a defense. It's extremely clear through his actions that the intention was to mislead people into thinking that this was something that he had a meaningful part in building, and he didn't. He very clearly has no idea how to play this game. Now, from here, the community was pretty upset. A good amount of them who weren't maybe established Elon fans, and probably a few people who were established Elon fans, were like, why would you mislead us like that? Like, why would you try and why do this? Completely throws in the face of everything that it seemed like he was trying to do. He wanted to seem, you know, down to earth and whatever, but now he just seems super disingenuous. For what? Clout? You need clout? So probably driven by the massive amounts of confusion from everybody as to why he would go to the trouble to do all of this. Quinn69TV's video, where he outlines all the reasons why this could not have been Elon Musk actually playing this game, that video got like 1.2 million views as of recording. That then got the attention of a massive YouTuber and Twitch streamer by the name of Asmongold. Asmongold then covered it himself, which got another several million views, and this got the attention of Elon directly because apparently they'd had conversations on Twitter. And from there, Elon has what I can realistically only describe as a crash out on Twitter. He removes the blue check mark from Asmongold's account. It went back up like real fast, but it was definitely verified to have been down for some period of time. And he also unfollowed Asmongold. They had been following each other previously, I believe. Then, in an effort to clown on Asmongold on Twitter, he leaks DMs between him and Asmongold. Elon puts out a tweet saying Asmongold acts like he's this big guy and whatever, but he has to answer to his bosses before he goes and streams anything. Remember, Asmongold is one of the largest streamers on Twitch. He then attaches, again, leaked DMs between him and Asmongold, which in the gaming community, and just kind of generally, that is not a thing that you do. That is a skeezy fucking move. But in these DMs, he and Asmongold are talking about the editors that Asmongold has for his YouTube channel. Asmongold is predominantly a Twitch streamer. He doesn't stream on YouTube or anything, but he pays two guys who come in, cut his content down from Twitch, put up what are called VODs onto YouTube, and then they all split the profits. It's a very good system for everyone involved. What everyone came to realize after being very confused by how those DMs had anything to do with what Elon was trying to say about Asmon having to like report to his bosses was that Elon does not understand the difference between a video editor, a person who edits your content for you, and a journalistic editor. Elon was under the impression that Asmongold's editors were like people he reported to like a journalist would. And as soon as everyone realized that's what was going on, Elon got community noted on his platform. This is embarrassing. Now, as this whole thing was going down, there were a ton of Elon fans who were functionally just making their way through the narcissist prayer, right? And at this point, they were at the, well, why does any of this matter? Why do you care? Who cares what he does? He can do whatever because whatever. And of course, in the grand scheme of things, no, this doesn't matter. He paid people. Yeah, he violated terms of service for the game and also for Twitter, hilariously, but he's not going to face repercussions for that. That's the reality of it. It's fine. You truly cannot deny that this is both deeply embarrassing to do as like the richest person on the planet, but also that it is a reflection of such a deep-seated level of insecurity. Like, he is the final boss of daddy issues, and this proves it in a way that nothing else ever could. But the good news for everyone is that in his hubris, his character was in the most difficult tier of play, which has permadeath, and he killed his character. So it's over now. Great job, you did it.